So in this opening scene, I show you as if the camera's been running all night, my authentic rise from sleep. But we all know that's not the case.
His turn when I roll up, spin around like a donut. Got a feeling that I can't lose. Show it off like it's new shoes. I got something you can't explain. La 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 la. In a metaphysical kind of way. La 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 la. There's something magic inside my veins. La 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 la. No matter what, I'ma do my thing. I'ma do my thing. Can you feel it?
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. So if you are new here, I am Neil Lopez. I am a photographer slash videographer in the upstate of South Carolina. And today's video is really all about keeping your creativity, keeping that passion going, keeping your drive going for creating, whether that's art, photography, videography, whatever it is that you're into. I think a lot of times we set expectations way too high, unrealistically high for ourselves, and we're always trying to supersede the next video. And as I've continued to tell myself when I'm creating content, that it's always about progress before perfection. It is a marathon, not a race. So in today's video, I just wanted to have a dialogue about what I think you can do to continue to be creative, keep your workflow going, and keep your passion going. So let's talk about that. So if you've been following the channel for some time, you will know that it's been quite a while since I did a video, and it's for no other reason besides the lack of motivation. So the whole monologue part that you've seen in the beginning of this video is kind of got like a hidden message to it. Discreetly, I have started to work on my fitness, my health, my wellness better, because I am getting older. I'm actually about to turn 40 years of age in about 2 weeks. And yeah, hopefully 40 is the new 20. But I think, you know, what we have to realize is wellness and health, your mind, your body, is directly correlated with being creative. It's hard to feel creative, it's hard to be creative, it's hard to think of ideas when you're stressed, when you don't feel good, when you're tired. So I have started to take it very seriously, even though in the monologue I only did 3 push-ups, but it's kind of like a representation thing, because it's very important, especially when you get older, and I'm starting to realize that now, to take care of yourself, to clear your mind, and maybe stop focusing on trying to think of the next big thing, or this video has to be perfect, or I have to speak in a cadence that's so strong. I think a lot of us get caught up in trying to make the message too meaningful and too powerful, if you will. I think you should just be yourself. I think no matter what you try as far as, you know, trying to be like so super aggressive with your message, I think sometimes that's what messes us up. So I think we should relax. We should, you know, definitely do better note taking, definitely pre-planning, because on this channel, when I came back after my 9-month hiatus, I wanted to start focusing more on creating better content, not just for myself, because it feels good to create something good, and especially if people watch it, but also for you guys. I wanted to start doing more photography, behind the scenes of photography and videography, gear reviews and recommendations, and the only thing I've been able to do are those real, you know, gear recommendations and reviews. And I've felt stagnant. I've felt really just kind of like down about the channel, even though it's doing well, and even though those videos have a good amount of engagement and views, I felt like the content was just starting to become monotonous, and I didn't like that feeling. So I wanted to come up with something different, hence this video today. So if you've been on the channel or if you look at any of my previous videos, you will notice that it's a lot different and it's not your typical video that you would see from me. So I think the break helps because it allowed me to clear my mind, push everything else to the side, think of something creative, and be able to come back with a video like this. So if you're struggling, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to reevaluate your channel, your niche, your focus, and everything like that, because at a certain point you will, basically get burnout, and it sucks. It's not a good feeling. None of us want to go through it, but it happens. I was putting out 3 to 4 videos a week instead of spacing them out, and not just because I thought I had to, but because I was really excited. But what I've focused on now is creating better content. I have to create better content to keep you guys engaged. Gear is gear. Recommendations, reviews, you see them all over the place. So I need to change the dynamic of my channel so I feel like I'm giving you guys more value. So also your space that you work in, sometimes that becomes a little boring. So if you've seen any of the other videos that I just have this, flat charcoal color wall, and now I've changed it up a little bit, and you'll see that probably in the next video because it is a gear review video. But your space sometimes doesn't give you motivation. It doesn't make you excited. So I just said, you know what? I want a little bit more dynamic and dimension to my videos. So I went ahead and just bought like some tripod lamps and some RGB lights, put the little banana in the middle there that everyone seems to like. And no, I'm not copying Daniel Scheffer, even though he's awesome. I've learned a lot from him. But I mean, this banana's pretty cool, and I didn't want to get anything else. In any event, changing the space, spending a couple of bucks to do so, really motivated me because I liked the outcome of the look. So now I have a different look in my videos. So I feel like it's almost a reboot of sorts, because it motivated me to now want to do some different sort of content. Now don't get me wrong, I'm still going to do the gear recommendations and the gear reviews and stuff like that. But since, we've been through this whole virus thing, it's been hard to get out and shoot. Nobody really wants to. So work has kind of went down and stuff like that. But I've been doing things in my in-home studio, which I'll show you in a minute. So that's helped, but it's nothing like getting out and experiencing the outdoors. And maybe that's the struggle that you're going through right now. Maybe your creativity comes from being outside. I know mine does, and it helps a lot. Don't get me wrong. I like using my studio. I like being able to shoot in the comfort of my home, but sometimes we need to get out and explore. So, if you do street photography or if you do portraiture photography, that's a must. You must get outdoors. And with the restrictions going on and people scared to go outside, it's a tough thing to do. I totally get that. So that's a little bit of the reason why I felt demotivated and stagnant, because primarily I'm a photographer and I like to shoot portraiture, not so much street photography, but if I can and I'm in a nice place with some nice architecture, then I will. So, just kind of, I guess my tip is, make the best of it. If you don't have anyone to shoot, I'm going to take my own advice as well. Then go out to a nice place, go out hiking, go out to, a waterfall, or if you have a beach by you, and maybe try to explore those places to get some of your creativity back. And I'm talking about the photography aspect of things. If you're a videographer, maybe do the same thing, take some B-roll or just get some footage and maybe come back and edit that and create something awesome out of it. Heck, if anything else, you can sell it as stock footage and make a couple of bucks. So that's kind of one tip that I can give you for trying to stay creative, especially when you feel like you're in a rut or you feel like your content's a little bit, monotonous. So let's continue this, but we're going to continue it in the studio. So let's just go ahead and hop over there. All right, so now we're in my studio, and that is one other thing that went ahead and gave me some motivation. This didn't exist a couple of weeks ago, and I decided to order this roll down backdrop set from Amazon because I figured if I wasn't getting out, I would shoot indoors. So I took, a spare room of mine and I turned it into a photography studio, and I've actually done quite a few sessions here in the studio. So, that may be an option for you if budget permits. This was pretty cheap. I think for 2 rolls and the actual roll down kit itself, I paid like 300 bucks. So if that is an option for you, if you can't get out and budget permits, you can do something like this if you have a little spare area. Now, this room is not that big. It's probably 14 by 16 or 14 by 14. I'm not really sure. I measured it one time, but I forget. So I was just trying to find ways to be creative while I was essentially stuck at home during this whole mess that we're going through. But, you know, it's just, you got to find your way, essentially, is what I'm saying. You have to decide, you know, out of the box, what can I do to continue to be creative? Like, what am I doing now? So if I was an artist, or if I was a photographer or videographer, what am I doing right now that maybe can help with my creativity and get me out of this rut? So I decided to change the other studio up, as you've seen, you know, kind of like a little glimpse. And then also decided to take a spare room so I can actually continue to do my photography. And I'm going to show you some of the pictures now that I've done in the studio over the past few weeks. I've done a couple of boudoir sessions, I've done a couple of headshot sessions, so that's been really fun and it's actually been income. So, you know, maybe you're thinking, well, I don't have the income to put this into a room and get the stuff that you get to do the photography headshots if you do photography. But think about it this way. If you offer the service of headshots or something like that, or any other sort of photography that this can utilize, then it's going to pay for itself. So don't look at it as just, you know, taking away money from your pocket right now. Look at it as it's an investment. If you have the space, get something like this. And if you're used to shooting outdoors and you can't right now, because again, not a lot of people want to venture out. Not a lot of people want to be around people. Even if you're a photographer and you have a long throw lens and you don't have to get so close to them, I've found that very weird, but you know, people are people and they have their own prerogatives and their own opinions. So do something like this and chances are you're going to get money from it. Because the sessions I've been charging just real cheap. And it's weird because people will come here, but then certain people won't meet me outdoors. And this is a more confined space. In any event, what I'm getting at is think of ways not only to be creative, but the way that motivates me is to make an income. So I've made more than enough, more than double and almost triple what I invested in this. And I thought, you know, hey, that's a part of being creative. I took a space, made it work, and I'm still doing my creativity, which is photography. So hopefully if you guys are stuck or if you're in a rut, think some different ideas outside of the box. I did, and having said all of that, I'm going to continue to do the gear reviews and recommendations because I actually have quite a few products and the review videos coming out here very soon. But just stop, breathe, whatever it takes for you to get out of your rut, whether that's reading, whether that's maybe taking a hike, whether that's maybe going camping, maybe whether that's cooking, you know, just breathe, pause. You don't always have to be perfect. Again, remember, it's a marathon, not a race. Progress before perfection. So I hope this video helped, and if it did, please consider subscribing and go ahead and give the video a huge thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next time, keep rocking, stay creative, and hasta luego.
Baby girl, she gotta do it with a purpose. And Madonna by the mirror, man, I heard that she a virgin. Sheesh. And I've been in the gym all week. Heavy bars, that's how I'ma drop the gems y'all need. I've been working on this body.